Hi everybody, Mrs. J here. Thanks for signing up for our library program to go. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to make your frosting for those cupcakes using freeze-dried fruit so you can not only dye but also flavor that frosting in a safe way. So in your bag, you're going to have a little 2-ounce container of freeze-dried strawberries. You can also add some frozen or fresh strawberries, and I'll give you a link to show you how to approach that for this frosting. But I'm just going to use the freeze-dried because that's what I have here. You're also going to need 2 sticks of butter. I took these out last night so they're nice and soft. They're at room temperature. You're going to need a little bit of vanilla extract. You'll need a pinch of salt. You'll need 4 cups of confectionery sugar or powdered sugar, and you'll need a little bit of water. We're also going to use a food processor, and I'm going to use a stand-up mixer, but for your frosting, you could also use a hand mixer. So those are the ingredients you need, and I'll talk to you a little bit about the different variations of using the fruit and what that can look like. So thank you for tuning in, and I hope that your cupcakes are smelling really good. I'm not going to do the tutorial for that because I think that one is a little bit more self-explanatory with the note cards. So go ahead and make your cupcakes, and then this video will walk you through how to do the frosting. All right, let's get started. Everyone, so I have my food processor plugged in. It's set, it's locked, it's safe. The blade is securely placed. I've got my 2-ounce cup of freeze-dried strawberries. If you're able to purchase a little baggie of these to make more, you can, but this is enough to make a powder that will really flavor and color your frosting. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what that's going to look like. All right, so when you're all done, you can go ahead and unplug before you check. And then take it off, give it a little shake. And then I'm going to open my lid. There we go, shake, shake, shake. And you can see here, I can take my blade out, give that a good shake, because some of that powder is getting stuck right here. You can even take your clean hands and get the powder out of there. And then you can see that you're coming up with some nice powder to add. So again, even this little amount, when you add it to your buttercream, will make a difference. But if you want, you can add more. You can also do the trick where you add the frozen or fresh strawberries. Just make sure you process them as the recipe indicates. Hi everyone, I'm gonna go ahead and show you now how to get your buttercream frosting. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up my mixer before I plug it in. So I'm gonna use the whipping attachment here. Then I'm gonna go ahead and put in my 2 sticks of butter. Again, these are very soft. I left them out overnight to reach room temperature because you need to make sure when you're making buttercream that you have the right consistency with your butter, and so you don't want it to get chunky, and that's what will happen if you don't let it get to room temp. So I'm just gonna start by creaming the butter. So I'm gonna go ahead now, plug it in that everything is safe and secure. Going to lock it. Just going to start to cream that. All right, so I've got my butter creamed, and I'm going to go ahead and put in my raspberry mixture, my powder. I'm going to just tap, 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 get as much powder off as I can. And I've got my powder in there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start it back. You can see that'll mix in nicely. And you're going to want to use a spatula to get them some of those edges. So I'm going to go ahead and get my powdered sugar. So I've taken a spatula like this, and I've gone around and I've got all the powder that was stuck on the edges. And I'm going to go ahead and put about 4 cups of confectionery sugar in here. I bake a lot, so I'm going to not measure, but I suggest that you measure this. I kind of know what I want my buttercream to look like and taste like, so I'm going to use my personal measuring technique. I'm going to put that on a medium level for stirring, and you're going to want to make sure that that's mixing at the consistency that you want. So I'm just going to let it go through and mix for a bit. And you can see that it's got that nice light pink color. I'm going to even turn that up a little bit. And that is looking
looking really good. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more sugar. Again, this calls for 4 cups.
Oh, it's very good. I'm gonna add a little bit more sugar because it tastes a little buttery to me. And I would say I taste that strawberry. It's faint, but you can definitely taste it. And you can see that it's beautifully colored, this frosting. So again, that was just that 2-ounce cup that we provided in your bag. I'm gonna go ahead and get into another bag of powdered sugar. And then I'm gonna go through this process until I really like how the taste is. So I'm gonna just go ahead, get my mixer going again, and I'm gonna add in some powdered sugar. 4 cups is what is recommended, and I recommend measuring. I'm not measuring because this is how I always make my frosting, but if you're new to this, you're gonna wanna measure. Right, so I'm gonna let that go ahead and mix. It's looking a little bit lighter as I put some more sugar in, but it looks very good. So there is our frosting. I'm gonna go ahead and do another taste test here. It's only my family eating, so I'm gonna use the same spoon. Okay, I think that's just about ready. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna put them on my cupcakes, and then I'm gonna have my taste tester here when she wakes up from her nap, and she'll let you know how these taste. So I hope this was fun. I hope that you'll try this again with lots of different freeze-dried fruits. And if you, again, don't have any extra freeze-dried fruits and you want more of that strawberry taste in your frosting, just follow the link to add the frozen or the fresh strawberries. So you just need to have, if you don't have any piping bags, you can use just a plastic bag that you have at home and a pair of scissors. And you're just gonna really lightly go in there and cut the edge just a little bit, and then we're gonna go ahead and fill up this bag. So I suggest getting like a mason jar or a big cup. I'll kind of show you what I'm gonna do. All right, so I just have a tall glass that I have in the house here with a big lip. You don't want one that gets smaller. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and use that same spatula that I used to get that frosting off of the edges. And I'm gonna put it into our piping bag that we've made. I typically use traditional piping bags, but I've used this and it works just fine. So this is the way that I suggest transferring so you don't have too much of a mess. And once you have your frosting looking and tasting the way that you want it, you can go ahead and start to fill up that bag. I've got that kind of leaning over the side so I can kind of make a little bit of a mess without it dripping. So I can get all that frosting in there. All right, I think this would go really good with a little bit of freeze-dried banana powder. Okay, so once you have that in the bag, you're gonna go ahead and pull that out of your cup or your mason jar. I've had problems where I use mason jars that have those tight lips at the top. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of use my hands to push that to where I made my cut. Try to keep track of where that is. It looks like I did it on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and just squeeze, 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 squeeze until I reach that area where I have that cut. Then I'm going to take one of my cupcakes. I made funfetti cupcakes, so mine look a little different than yours. You have the traditional vanilla. Mix in your jar, and I'm going to go ahead and just squeeze, and then you'll see it kind of looks like a traditional piping bag, and you can do some cool patterns depending on how your cut works out. This was not the best cut, but it's looking kind of cute. And then I would definitely consider putting on top like a fresh strawberry. And yeah, so this is kind of what we're looking like at the end. I'll put a little link in there so you can try different ways to cut the bags to get that traditional piping technique look. But have some fun with the bags. Try some different cuts on there and try some different frosting techniques. But yeah, I just like to do a simple pipe. I don't like to get too fancy, so I just like to do a little spin around, give it some volume, and then you've got some sprinkles in there that you can put on top. And then I, again, would put a little slice of strawberry right on top here. So I'm gonna go ahead and ice these cupcakes. And then up next will be our trusty taste tester, Millie, once she has woken up from her long nap that allowed us to make this video today. All right, everyone, I have my taste tester, Millie, here up from her nap. Do you want to try one of the cupcakes?
Yeah.
All right, will you tell everyone how the frosting tastes?
Yeah.
Okay, here it is. What do you think? Is it good? Does it taste good? Yeah? All right, I think it is Millie approved. So I hope you enjoyed this library program to go. I hope you'll sign up for our next program in March. Any other thoughts, Millie, want to share? Is it good? All right. Thanks, everybody.